Today I have for you another video coming up with MCQ tricks and tips. The video of the mentor from whom I have learned this MCQ tricks and tips. You would find the same tricks and tips said by various teachers. I have learned it from Dr. Nick.
MCQ trick number 1. First and foremost, attempt all questions. But there's a trick how to attempt all questions. Look, there will be 4 options, right? So among those 4 options, you will be either knowing 2 of them, or knowing 3 of them, or knowing all 4 of them. If you know all 4 of them, then either you can go by ruling out each options and then coming to the answer. Or if you know 2 options, then you can rule out among those, and still if you're confused with the rest of the 2 answers, at least you can go ahead and mark whatever you feel like, whatever your gut feeling is saying. In that case, you will have 50% chance of getting your answer correct. So you have to take that risk if you want a higher rank. So, and in those questions is in which you know only out of 4 options, you only know 3 about the 3 options, and the 4th option you don't know anything about it, still go and mark any options. You have 75% chance of getting your question correct. So that's how we're going to attempt our questions. And even and there will be some questions in which all the 4 options you will not be knowing any single thing. You will be totally clueless. So that are the questions in which you will not take the risk. That are the questions in which you will go for negative marking if you mark there. So don't just simply mark anything. Just see how many options you know and then proceed how to attempt the questions. Then coming to the second trick. Second trick is that if you don't know anything about any questions, you can still come to the answer. The trick is there will be 2 options which will be contradictory to each other, right? So your answer always lies in among those 2 questions, those 2 options. So if you mark any one of them, you will still be at 50% chance of marking a question right. So coming back to the another trick of solving similar question is that in a question, all 3 options will be telling about a topic, and the 4th option will be totally irrelevant about the topic. So you know, if you're truly clueless about the option, you at least know the 3 options are talking about something, and then you can come back to the question and you can apply your tricks and get to the answer. That's how you can increase your number of positive questions. Any type of question, always first see the last line of the question first, so that you get an orientation what is the question asking, and you don't waste your time thinking every other thing in this world, right? So you need to cut down your time and so that you can go by the question and the reaction time is reduced, right? So you see the last line, you read the options, and you know what are the keywords you have to find in the para of the questions. In this way you can cut short your time that you use per question. That is how you can attempt a question with the limited time, and yet you can get to the right answer. If in the last line you don't get to know what is the question asking about, then you see the options, and in the option also you are not totally clueless what is the question asking about, then you can just go and read to the second last line. Then you know what is the question asking about, and then you can go back to the first line of the question and keep reading the question as it comes. And in this way you can attempt the question in 30 seconds or maybe or less if the question is shorter. So questions which they will ask you all except, or tell me which is true except. So in your mind, first you decide what is the question asking you. I always used to write first read the question and know, okay, this question is asking me false statement. So every question I used to read, okay, false or true. I would search for the false question option first. Another trick is that never be stuck with any one keyword. In the question there will be one keyword and that will direct you to one of the options. But the MCQ skill is all about 2 to 3 keywords all putting into the picture and making you go to the option to the answer. So that's another trick, that you have to reach to the answer with 2 to 3 keywords matching together. It's not only one keyword matches and you mark the answer and you got it wrong. You have to match 2 to 3 keywords to get to, so the whole picture matches into the MCQ. One more trick, how do we remember the life cycles of the microbiology, right? How do we remember? We just see the second intermediate host and you remember the life cycle. And even if there's some 1 or 2 life cycles which is common second intermediate host, in that you need to just remember one more point so that you can distinguish, okay, this is the life cycle of Fasciola hepatica with aquatic plants, or this is a life cycle of any other protozoans. In ECG questions, what we do is first we read the stem of the question, then we go to the option, and after all of that we go to the image, right? If you see the image earlier, then you will be confused. So you don't have to diagnose everything in the question. You just have to see what is it asked. So for that you go to the stem of the questions, then options, and then the ECG picture. Few questions like which is facts and numerical like IPCs or calculation based questions, if you do not know the formula or if you do not know the IPC, please do not make a guess there. there's one more trick for numerical questions. Just in the options there will be the unit, right? So you take up the unit, like it is and you just go to the questions and see something is in kg and something is in meter square. Then you can just see in the option there will be kg per meter square. So you know you have to divide the value, and then below in the denominator there will be meter square. So meter wala thing you have to divide into you have to multiply it twice. So MCQ is not about only your knowledge. You always have to know the trick to apply your knowledge. Most of the questions doesn't directly come from the notes, and it is impossible to read all of the note. Like you can't read 300 pages for just one day before exam, right? So you always have to narrow down whatever knowledge you have to apply that onto the MCQ which is in front of you. Just don't go for searching more and more knowledge. Just apply whatever you have in your knowledge box and just apply it on the MCQ with these tricks. And I'll link the videos of those teachers which will help me to learn these MCQ skills, and so that you can get a detailed MCQ wise videos of the teachers from whom I learned the MCQ skills, and then you can also get the marks and thank me later. So bye, see ya for the next video. We will be making another preparation video. I hope this helps, and you can also like, share,